Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emily, and in case you're new to this YouTube channel, I basically just make beauty and lifestyle videos. And in today's video, I wanted to do a everyday kind of makeup tutorial, just something that's going to be super neutral and very wearable. I might spice it up a little bit and throw some glitter in there just for some fun, but basically it's just going to be like a neutral, like colored cheek and lips and just like a neutral eye. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and I'm just gonna get right into it. So the first thing I like to do after I've washed my face in the morning is prep my skin by moisturizing. I always like to make sure that I have a hydrated base before I apply makeup, just because everything goes on a lot smoother. Basically, like, you just have a nice moisturized and plump face for when you want to do makeup. And the moisturizer that I'm using today is the Ginseng Energy Boosting Gel Moisturizer by Origins. Let me just see, this light is a little bit bright, so let me just turn it down so you could see. So there is, I think that's better lighting anyways. There is the moisturizer right there. And I love this moisturizer. It is very like gel based, so it's gonna be good if you have dry and oily skin, in my opinion, because just how hydrating it is. And also it really smells like really good citrus, and so it's great to like wake you up in the morning. And then something that I've been doing recently is I have been applying this watermelon brightening stick, or watermelon brightening serum by Milk Makeup, and I just have the mini size. Basically this is supposed to brighten your skin, and if you have any like dark pigmentations like acne scarring or hyperpigmentations like I do, this is really supposed to brighten everything up and just make for like a brighter complexion. And then the next thing I'll do is go on with primer, and the primer that I have been loving recently is the J1 Jelly Pack primer. This is by just, I guess, J1. It's Dramatic Firming Skin with improved elasticity and pore smoothing. This is basically like glue for your foundation. It is very much, I mean, it looks like glue, it feels like glue. It's so sticky that like anything that you put on top of it is going to stick. It's so tacky, it literally feels like you're putting glue on your face. All right, and then the last step I will do before applying foundation is just to kind of prep my skin, not prep my skin, but kind of put on something dewy to where it's going to look illuminated underneath my foundation. This is just personal preference. If you have oily skin, then I wouldn't go in with like a nice dewy kind of base. But the moisturizer and then this MAC strobe cream is really gonna make for a dewy kind of base, which I love. And in case you guys haven't been able to tell, I am filming on my new setup, and I actually got requested to show my setup. So at the end of this video, I will just kind of take my camera out of its position and show you the setup that I'm currently filming with. And I think it's working out pretty well because I can still look at you guys and film without like having weird lighting situations or anything like that. Oh, and then I always just like to spray my face with a little bit of this Mario Badescu spray. This is the new one with Orange Blossom and Sage. I've just been incorporating that in. Okay, so I just did a million steps to prep. I'm gonna take my foundation now. All right, so the foundation I'm gonna be taking is the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. This I do like, it has really nice coverage. I just kind of pump it onto my face, and I'm in the shade Buff Beige. This is like my winter shade. And then I'm just gonna take like a flat kind of shadow brush, like a smaller flat brush right here. And I'm basically just going to just kind of smooth or spread out this foundation just so I can have like a nice even layer of it before I go in with a sponge. Sometimes if I just go in with a sponge and I just pump the foundation out on my face, the sponge kind of just like eats all the foundation, which is annoying, and sponges can do that if you wet your sponge. And usually if you want fuller coverage, you would use a brush, but I have never had any luck with brushes whenever I have tried blending out my foundation, because the brush just kind of leaves the foundation a little bit streaky, in my opinion, which is never a good look. So I always have to go in with a sponge anyways after. So I always just use a sponge to blend out my foundation. And this is the Real Techniques orange sponge. I actually have to wash all of them today because I've been putting it off for so long. I've just been kind of like using used sponges, and yeah, I just rather have clean sponges, you know? All of them are dirty, by the way. All right, and then next up is concealer. I use the NARS, well today I'm using the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Medium 1 Custard, and I love this concealer. It's so full coverage, and it's so creamy. It's very like smoothing underneath the eyes. It's really, really nice. So I just take a little Sigma, little dual fiber, like flat top, precision flat P80 brush, and I basically just kind of place this all underneath the eyes, into the inner corner, just to get like the fullest coverage. I'm not really blending out with this brush. I'm kind of just like placing it down. And then I'm gonna take my sponge and just kind of, with light pressure, just kind of tap everything out. And I don't really like to do a whole lot of blending like in the middle portion where the concealer is. I just kind of like to blend the outer bits just to get the fullest coverage of the concealer. Next, I'm going to go in with powder just to set underneath the eyes, and this is the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade Light. I think that this is my shade of powder. I like it for underneath the eyes, and I also really like it to set the face. It really just smooths everything out, makes everything become nice and matte, and I just use my sponge to set that. But I'm not going to set the rest of the face right now because I want to go in with cream bronzer. This is something I've been doing recently because whenever I put my powder bronzer, if I have set my face with powder and I put powder bronzer on top, my bronzer just kind of comes out patchy, and I don't really have a nice good base from that for that bronzer. So I like to go in with cream bronzer and set my face and then do actual bronzer after that. So the cream bronzer I'm going to be taking today is the Milk Makeup Baked Bronzer in the shade Blaze, and this is their darkest one. I'm pretty sure they only have 2 shades, which is a little bit darker than this shade or a little bit lighter than this shade right here. This is the darkest one, and I'm gonna take the e.l.f. brush in the 103 brush, and I really like this brush a lot. And basically what I do is I just kind of go and place this a little bit above the hollows of my cheek, and I just basically blend this out really well. I'm gonna try and turn this light down a little bit. And I also like to take it on my forehead, just like on the sides of my forehead and also on the top of my forehead, like that. And then I will take it down my temples, just basically all on the sides of my face, and of course above the hollows of the cheekbones. So I wouldn't really recommend putting cream bronzer or any cream products for that fact on top of powder, just because it's kind of like, you know, you're putting liquid on top of powder of something that you just set, and it's really not gonna be the best. Like, you're gonna find that the powder's coming off and the foundation's coming off, and it's not gonna be that, like, it's not gonna look good. So if you've ever done that, try just putting your cream or your liquid products on top of your foundation where it's already like dewy and everything like that. So that's what I would recommend. But I'm next going to take a fluffy brush. This one is just by Wet n Wild, their pink and white brush collection. And I'm going to take the leftover powder that's in my lid that we use to set underneath the eyes, and I'm just going to set the rest of the face, just kind of tapping it and then kind of buffing it a little bit. Alright, next is blush, and I am going to take a very neutral blush. This is what I use on like an everyday basis, and this is Margin by MAC. It's like a very like kind of rose gold, like very light rose gold kind of color with a little bit of shimmer in there, and I just take a small stippling brush and I basically just apply this to the apples of my cheek. And a little bit on the tip of my nose. And I actually forgot to do bronzer on top of my cream contour of like what I was just talking about. So I'm just gonna go back and do that. I have been loving the Sweet Tea bronzer by Too Faced. Like, as you could tell, it has a little indent in there and I've just been really loving it. So I'm gonna go in with this Kat Von D brush and I'm gonna use the angled side. And I'm just going to just kind of go over that that bronzer that we used. And I'm also gonna take it on the foreheads, just basically anywhere where we applied that Milk Makeup Cream bronzer. This is just gonna like bronze up the face, add a little bit more color, a little bit more of a contour. On camera, it actually looks really harsh, like my whole cheek situation, but in person, I promise it's like very much subtle. All right, and then just for fun, I think I'm gonna bake the underneaths of my contour line. And the longer you let it sit on there, the more it's going to be effective. All right, and then the next and last step for the face, besides brows, is gonna be highlight. And I think I'm going to use this Nicole Guerrero Anastasia highlighting palette. This is like kind of old. I don't think they sell it anymore, but it's an amazing highlight. Let's see if we can get like a good shot of me applying this highlighter. I'm gonna actually set my face first. I'm just gonna take my Mario Badescu spray, just kind of set my face a little bit, just so it's a little bit wet, so when we apply the highlight, it's gonna show up the best. And I'm just gonna take the shades Glow Getter and Kitty Cat. And I have this Morphe brush, M510, and I'm just going to, oh my God, you guys, this highlight is so good. Yeah, that's really, 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 really nice. I love it. Just a nice, good highlight, you know? Can't go wrong. I've just been saving this palette, like savoring it, because it's so good. But, you know, whatever highlight works for you. If you don't really like blingy highlights, just use whatever works for you. But wow, that is highlight goals. Then I just like to press some a little bit on the top of my nose. And then if I'm feeling it, I will put a little bit above the brow, just a little bit like extra glow, because in the wintertime, my face is so dry. Everything looks so matte and flat. So I just like to add a little bit of extra highlight. All right, next we're gonna do eyebrows, and I'm just gonna do them off camera, but I'll show you what I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna use my Anastasia Dip Brow pomade type thing in the shade Dark Brown, and the brush, her Anastasia brush, the name actually rubbed off, but it's one of her like brow eyeliner brushes, and I'm gonna use that. And then for the gel, I'm gonna take the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Brow Gel in the shade Dutch for me. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back and my brows are finished, and I grabbed my palette that I'm going to use for the eyes, and the one that I'm using is the Morphe 9B palette, and it looks like this with like some nice neutral toned shades and darker shades and browns and things like that. So I'm going to just get started, I'm going to take the Kylie Cosmetics, it's just like a fluffy brush. And I'm going to first take the shade called Hang 10, which is the shade right here. I'm going to pick it up on this brush. I'm just going to apply it in the crease and the outer V. So, basically, I just wanted to update you guys on a few things. And school has actually started for me. If you guys didn't know, you probably don't, but I am in college, and I'm actually on my last semester of my 2-year degree, so I'm very excited about that. And honestly, it's a lot of pressure because I do want to make sure that I pass this semester, and also I'm having a graduation party in the summer of this year, like around maybe July or August or something like that. And so I definitely need to pass this semester because my parents or my dad is actually calling my relatives up who live in different states and asking them if they are willing to make it out here. And I live in the Northeast, so yeah, I mean, and they also live like on the east side, but I live in the Northeast, so like they definitely need to fly out here, and it's gonna be like a huge thing. But I'm very excited about it, and I'm happy and I'm proud of myself that I have gotten through 2 years of college and I'm about to graduate, so I'm very happy about that. Also, I live in the Northeast, so we are actually expecting a huge snowstorm tonight and tomorrow. So if you guys have seen that on the news or anything like that, because it's supposed to be like taking over, it's supposed to be coming from the west side and coming all the way to the east side. So I'm really excited about that too, because I love snowstorms and thunderstorms, and I have been wanting a snowstorm so far this winter, but we haven't gotten any, and I live in like one of those states that do get snow, obviously. But yeah, I'm excited for that. And then next, okay, so I just put that shade in my crease and outer corner. I'm gonna take this shade right here, which is called Road Trip, and I'm just gonna apply that a little bit lower in my crease and outer corner than I did the first shade, and that's just gonna make for a nice gradient. And this palette is honestly so nice just to sweep like one color in your crease. So if you are thinking about getting this palette and you really like warm kind of like browns and neutral tones, this palette is seriously perfect because you can really just sweep one color in your crease, or you could like build it up and do like a nice diffusion of colors and things like that. So yeah, I really like this palette. All right, and then the next shade I'm gonna be taking is the shade called Beach Please, which is just this shade right here. And I'm basically just gonna do the same exact thing using the same exact brush and just apply it a little bit lower this time. Another thing that I wanted to update you guys on was that I am losing weight right now. I am in the process of losing weight. I have a certain weight in mind that I want to get to, and right now I am 7 pounds down to what I started at when I first started this journey. And basically what I'm doing is, before I tell you, I'm just going to take a like flat shader brush and take the shade Now Boarding and Road Trip, which are these two shades right here, and I'm gonna apply it on my lower lash line. Basically what I've been doing to lose the weight is I am, first of all, eating a lot less. Before I was like just eating like whenever I was bored, as like most people do. And for me, it was like, I mean, not most people don't really do that, but I mean, a lot of people, like my friend and I, would just sometimes like eat a lot when we went out to eat. Like everything looked so good and we would just like, I don't know, we'd eat a lot. And at home, like whenever I was stuck at home, I would just always have like a kitchen surrounding me. So I just felt like, I'm a little bit hungry when I could have like waited and I didn't have to eat as much. So yeah, I've just been eating less, and I've also been eating healthier, meaning like I have been eating like mostly plant-based. If you guys didn't already know, I am a vegetarian, and this will be my 4th year being a vegetarian, and I love that. Like I am thriving as a vegetarian, but I have just been eating like plant-based more, and it's just really been helping me out because I have been cutting out dairy. I have been like just eating more whole foods and less processed foods as well. And another thing that I've been doing was I haven't been eating any sweets, so like no anything like with a bunch of sugar in it. Like I'll have vegan yogurt and stuff, and that'll have some sugar in it, but I'm talking like I won't have any cupcakes, cookies, brownies, like none of that. And another thing is that I'm only drinking water, like black coffee and tea, just like 0-calorie drinks, which has been really helping me out too, because before I would drink things like kombucha, or I would like have an alcoholic drink every now and then with my friend. And so I've just been cutting that out. I'm going in with the Liquid Fairy Lights and Passion Light. But if you guys are interested, which just basically looks like this, by the way. If you guys are interested, I could do like a what I eat in the day video and show you guys like everything that I eat, like healthy foods, vegetarian. Like I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, like mostly plant-based. So let me know, and I could like probably figure something out, because I would love to incorporate like health videos on my channel, and it'll help me out, just because I want to like make sure that I'm eating super healthy for you guys. And yeah, I just think I'd be really interested in that. But if you guys are too, let me know. And then another thing that I've been doing to lose this 7 pounds is I have been exercising a lot. I have an Apple Watch that I wear every day, and I have been just making sure that I hit all my goals on my watch every day, and it's really been helping me out. I like see that like pretty much every day I drop weight on the scale. If it's not a whole pound, it's like point of a pound, if that makes sense. Like so say I was like 59 pounds 0.6, I'd be like dropping 59 pounds 0.4, you know, so something like that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my mascara, and then I will be right back because the eyes are actually finished. All right, I'm just gonna do mascara off camera, I figured, and I'm using the Milk Makeup Kush Fiber Mascara. I love how they call their stuff like Kush. I think that's so funny to me. I don't know, it's funny to me. I know that they have like the CBD oil or whatever it is, but it's funny how they're just like Kush, you know? But yeah, I'm just gonna take this mascara. All right, so that is basically the makeup finished. I just have like super bronzy, like glittery eyes, something pretty like neutral. I told you I was gonna probably add some glitter in there, which I did. And then my cheeks are like a nice neutral shade. And then for lips, I'm gonna go in with a nude, and this is Unbutton by Fenty. I love these liquid lipsticks. They are so thin, but very pigmented. Alright guys, so that is the completed look, and I hope you all enjoyed this little like tutorial, get ready with me type thing, chit chat, I don't know. But I did promise that I would show you guys my like filming setup right now, so I'm just gonna do that right now. Alright, so as you can see, this is like my makeup desk, and sorry it's a mess, but basically I just bought this like hanging kind of tripod thing, and I have like some shelves up here, so I basically just hung this upside down with this clamp, and then right here it's really cool because it has this like holder for your camera or your phone, which I use my phone, and then this is like the light that shines right above it so you get good lighting, and then just right here is my mirror, so I'm just like looking down into my mirror whenever I put my phone up here and film with this. But it's really cool because there's a remote over here where you can adjust your brightness or color. So this is like the warmer tone setting, and this is the cooler tone setting. And then you can actually make it brighter. That's probably really bright. Or you can make it a little bit dimmer. So I love it so far, and let me know if you guys like it too. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of this video. I'll come back and say bye to you guys. Alright, so that's gonna be the end of this video. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it, and let me know about this like lighting situation if you guys like this whole setup. I actually have it on the warm setting right now, so I don't know like what is better, if I did like the cool tone setting or the warm tone setting. I think that the warm tone is actually better, but I just filmed the whole video in the cool tone setting. I didn't even really test it out. But yeah, so that's going to be the end of this video. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment down below about like anything that you guys are working towards in your life and excited to complete or anything like that. And I think that's going to be it from me, and I will just talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!